Hello and a warm welcome to all viewers tuning in to Modern World Dynamics. We're your go-to source for navigating the complexities of our fast-paced, ever-changing world. Today, we're tackling a common conundrum in the realm of romance: when she cancels a date. We'll be exploring this topic with a dash of humor and a hearty helping of practical advice. So whether you're a seasoned dater or a nervous novice, we've got you covered. Stay tuned, we're diving into the world of dating dynamics. Scene script. Picture this: you've planned a fantastic evening, but then your date cancels. What's your first reaction? You've unfolded your best shirt, splashed on your finest cologne, and even practiced your most charming anecdotes in front of the mirror. But then, out of the blue, your phone pings with the dreaded message: "Sorry, can't make it tonight." I mean, you've been hit right in the guts, haven't you? Your first reaction, quite understandably, is disappointment. You're deflated, like a balloon pricked by a spiteful needle. You stare at the message, and the meticulously planned evening crumbles into dust. Then comes the frustration. You think about the effort you've put in, the hope you've nurtured, and it's like you've been stood up by the universe itself. You might even entertain the thought of hurling your phone right out of the window, hoping it lands in a puddle and drowns. But let's be honest, you'd miss your Candy Crush too much for that. But you know what? It's perfectly okay to feel this way. We're all human after all. We're not robots programmed to be impervious to emotions. Now picture this. You're a knight, all geared up for the dragon, only to find out the dragon has a cold and can't come out to play. It's a bit of a letdown, isn't it? But hey, at least you're not the one with the cold, right? I mean, that's a small consolation. Or perhaps you're a chef ready to serve your signature dish, but your guest of honor has to reschedule. It's a bit like presenting your beef Wellington to an empty chair, isn't it? These analogies might seem a bit far-fetched, but they do help to lighten the mood, don't they? After all, life's too short to dwell on cancelled dates. But what if there's more to it than just a cancelled date? Let's delve into that in the next scene. Stay tuned. A cancelled date can mean a lot of things. It's a mystery we're about to unravel. Perhaps you've been there. You've got your outfit, your best cologne, and your conversation topics all lined up. You're ready to sweep them off their feet. But then, the text comes in: "Sorry, I can't make it tonight." And you're left wondering, what went wrong? Let's explore some possible reasons behind a cancelled date. One of the most common reasons, and one we all hope for, is a genuine emergency. Picture this: you're set up for an evening of romance, but just as you're about to leave, your date calls to say their cat has decided to have a wrestling match with a houseplant, and they're now en route to the vets. It's unexpected, it's unfortunate, but it's life. Then there's the unavoidable work commitment. Imagine your date works in a high-pressure job, and just as they're about to call it a day, a crisis erupts. In the battle between love and livelihood, the latter often wins. It's disappointing, sure, but remember, we're all trying to make it in this modern world. But let's delve into the murkier waters. Sometimes, a cancellation could be a sign of dwindling interest. It's like when you're excited about a new series, but by episode 3, you're just not feeling it anymore. It happens. People's feelings change, and it's important to respect that, or perhaps they're just not ready to date. It's akin to buying a new book, only to realize you're not in the mood to read. It's no one's fault, just unfortunate timing. Finally, there's the possibility that they're playing hard to get. It's like a game of cat and mouse, where the thrill of the chase is the main attraction. It's a risky strategy, and it's not for everyone. But the real question is, how should you react? Now we've reached the million-dollar question. How should you react when a date is cancelled? Well, it's not rocket science, but it does require a little finesse and understanding. So let's break it down with a few stories. Imagine our friend, let's call him Bob. Bob had a date lined up with a lovely lady, but alas, she cancels. Bob, being the understanding chap that he is, replies with a simple, "No worries, things happen. Let's reschedule when you're free." Now, this is a great approach. It shows empathy and leaves the ball in her court to decide the next move. Now, let's take another scenario. This time our protagonist is Steve. Steve has been cancelled on not once, not twice, but 3 times. Steve, understandably, is a little miffed. He decides to move on, and you know what? That's perfectly okay too. It's important to recognize when it's time to walk away. Here's the thing, gents, there's no one-size-fits-all reaction. You've got to read the situation, understand the context, and react accordingly. But here are a few golden rules to keep in mind. Firstly, always be understanding. You never know what someone else is going through. Secondly, if you're interested, don't hesitate to ask for a reschedule. It shows you're still keen without being pushy. Lastly, know when to walk away. If you're being consistently cancelled on, it might be a sign to move on. And remember, there's no need for dramatics. You're not auditioning for a Shakespeare play, so keep the drama to a minimum. Be respectful, even if you're disappointed. And certainly don't start any social media rant. It's not a good look, trust me. So whether you're a Bob, a Steve, or somewhere in between, remember to handle the situation with grace. And never forget, it's just a date. There will be others. Remember, the key is to stay cool, calm, and collected. We're about to wrap things up, but before we do, just a friendly reminder. If you're enjoying the content, why not give that like button a wee click? It helps us out more than you know. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Modern World Dynamics. We've got a lot more advice, stories, and a dash of humor on the way. You wouldn't want to miss out, would you? Now let's wrap things up with a few final thoughts. So we've covered a lot today, from initial reactions to the perfect response. We've taken a deep dive into the perplexing world of cancelled dates and everything that surrounds it. Let's recap, shall we? Firstly, we talked about the initial reaction. Remember, it's okay to feel disappointed, but it's vital not to let disappointment morph into resentment or anger. It's crucial to maintain your calm, even though it might seem like a blow. Next, we delved into understanding why she might have cancelled. We explored the possibility that it might not be a reflection of her interest in you, but circumstances beyond her control. It could be work, a personal emergency, or maybe she's just not feeling her best. Giving the benefit of the doubt is the gentlemanly thing to do. Then, we discussed the perfect reaction, which is all about understanding and patience. We emphasized the importance of expressing your disappointment without sounding accusatory or bitter. It's about keeping the door open for another opportunity, without pressure or expectations. The key takeaway is to remember that everyone's human. We all have our reasons, our struggles, and our off days. It's essential to react with empathy and kindness, rather than taking it personally. After all, a cancelled date isn't the end of the world. Before we wrap up, let's not forget that important reminder to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's a small click for you, but a giant leap for our community here at Modern World Dynamics. As we navigate the ever-evolving dynamics of our modern world, it's crucial to keep learning, growing, and understanding. Each situation is a new lesson, and each lesson is a step closer to becoming the best version of ourselves. Thank you for tuning in to Modern World Dynamics. Remember, life is full of dynamics, and understanding them is the key to navigating the modern world. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.